Coach Carthel, appreciate you joining us here. We'll get some questions for you here.
Yeah, first of all, Coach, Montana State. What do you expect from them on Friday night?
Well, really, really good football team. Boy, howdy, this is going up to, play one of the giants in FCS football. Dominant program, national powerhouse, and, just, you talk about Georgia and Alabama and Ohio State and Michigan, FBS. I mean, it's the same way in FCS. You've got North Dakota State, Montana, and this is one of those programs, one of the blue bloods that has been really good for a long time. They got a tremendous team this year. Started off 0-2, kind of like another team I know. And what's funny, I mean, it's world works in mysterious ways. Our team meeting after that first Abilene Christian game, I had it on a graphic. Teams that were 0-2. Montana State was at the top. I mean, Montana State's 0-2. Where do you think they're going to finish? That's what we told our team. And they rattled off 11 in a row, and guess what? So have the Lumberjacks. And so here we are, round 3, getting to go up there and play them in beautiful Bozeman, Montana. So awesome. I think it's going to be an awesome experience for us, to make that trip, to be in this round, and to play there at Bobcat Stadium. I've heard great things about the atmosphere there. Everybody's like, oh, gosh, you can't hear it. No, you can't hear it. You won't be able to hear it. And that crowd will be crazy. And that is what college football is all about. It's not it is a negative. It's going to be hard to deal with. But these are the experiences that you dream about playing in and coaching in. And so really looking forward to it. But back to, question at hand, just offensively, they are a machine. And they are very, very efficient, very, very effective, very, very productive. I think they average close to 40 points a game, very balanced. I think they rush for 240 or 245 and throw for just at 200. Quarterback is Lawson, I believe is his name, number 8, and he'll I think 25 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's run for 700. They got a 1-2 tandem in the backfield. Both rush they average like 6.5 yards per carry. And then they got a set of brothers, I think they're twins, Dollars is their last name, and one of them's a receiver reminds me of Bo Sparks, a kid we played a couple years ago that's now just dominating at Texas State. This kid can really go. Then his brother's the conference player of the year, I think, defensive player of the year, safety, and so up front, monsters. And you go up and you play these teams in the north. That's where their strength is O-line, very dominant. Defensive line, they've got just looks like about 9 Kai Thomases across the board. I mean, just some straight running dude. Number 11 is, whoa. I didn't sleep much last night just woke up, kept thinking about number 11. And we got our hands full now, but that's what this thing's all about. And we got a good team too, so I'm looking forward to a great environment, great game.
And how excited are you about playing on ESPN, just getting a lot of exposure to your team?
Well, I mean, we're the standalone game on ESPN1, national television. Nobody else is on there. The only thing that's disappointing is I'm sure it'll say SF Austin.
Yeah.
Why we can't get that fixed? Not us, but ESPN. Come on, ESPN, right. Let's get it going. I mean, be on ESPN all the time. It just says SF Austin. It should say SFA. Yeah. Nathan, can you get that fixed for us?
I'll try to pull some strings.
Pull some strings. Come on, let's go. But it is going to be a great environment and a great setting, a great national stage, not just for our football program, but for this university and East Texas. And so there's not another football game going on in the country. And so here we are, SFA battling Montana State on ESPN1. So that'll be great. It's, I guess, dark cloud, silver lining, whatever the word, there's a yin and yang to everything. That's great. The bad thing is it's that burn Friday night. You lose a whole day of prep, which that's one problem. But we're having to take 150 people and move them from Nacogdoches, Texas to Bozeman, Montana on a short week, traveling stuff. And the logistics there, I'm going straight from here to another call. We're still trying to get the plane set. And, there's some challenges there. That's why you need to win in the regular season, and that's where those seeds matter. And we were very fortunate and excited about the number 7 seed, but this allows you to teach some lessons for future teams, how there's more than 7, and get up there in the 1, 2, 3, or 4. That way you host all the way through, and because home field makes a difference. We saw that Saturday. We're undefeated at Homer Bryce, 7-0 at home, and that crowd we had Saturday helped us win that game against Abilene, against two great teams. And so, now the advantage goes obviously to Montana State playing at home with the crowd, the noise, the environment, but also just the logistics and the headaches. My voice barely hanging on because we ain't sleeping right now. We're trying to get everything watched and broken down and game plan done, and then get travel party of 150, 60 people up to Bozeman, Montana. Create some challenges, but we're ready.
Yeah, Coach, and you talk about obviously December in Montana. It's not exactly going to be the warmest time of the year. I think 42 is what it's saying at kickoff on Friday night. So coldest game of the year for you guys. On top of that, you talked about the environment already. It's going to be just really tough environment out there at Bobcat Stadium. So just talk about some of the prep that y'all are doing for the cold and for the environment with speakers. I know a lot of teams do that.
Yeah, I mean, you got to. We don't really have the speaker capability to mimic what Bobcat Stadium will be, but we're going to do a lot of things. We got to be able to operate silently, offense, defense, special teams, and so we'll do that. And in terms of the weather, I mean, we're sun always shines on the Lumberjacks. Sun may not be shining Friday night at 8 or 7, whatever the kickoff is, but we've dodged a bullet, and I've been fortunate enough to play in the month of December in the north, and in my career in Minnesota and Washington and up there, and there's some Nebraska, and you can draw some bad days, and I don't think it's it can change in a heartbeat, but right now what that weather looks like, I think we're going to be in good shape. I woke up this morning and was up there a little before 6, and I was putting together notes for the team meeting, and I was doing the weather. It was 36 here, and it was 38 there. So I told the team, heck, it's warm. We're going to be warming up there going to the mountains. So it will be colder there than it is here, but it's nothing that I don't think we can handle. It's going to be a nice day for middle of December in Bozeman, Montana, and it's football. That's football weather, and they've got 15 or 16 guys on their team from the state of Texas. They're just like the guys in our locker room. We recruited some of them. We got guys on our team that were recruited there. They got guys on their team that we recruited here. We recruit the same kids down here in Texas, and so that's just them playing up there. That's their environment, and we're looking forward to being part of it. Now, if the forecast was high of 12 and winds of 35 miles an hour, I'd either, catch COVID again, or I'd be coaching from the press box. I wouldn't want any part of that, but this is going to be, I think, a really nice night and a fun night in Bozeman, Montana.
Coach, obviously a lot goes into game days. Homer Bryce was rocking Saturday, and really kind of just kind of very fitting to have an atmosphere like that, a crowd like that, considering kind of the historic season that you guys are having. Talk a little about what goes into game day, all the moving parts and all the different things that it takes.
Yeah, Saturday was awesome. I want to shout out again to just the crowd. Lumberjack Nation showed up, all the alums and townsfolk, and all of East Texas was here. And they weren't just here. They were engaged and made a huge difference. That crowd in that fourth quarter, I've never heard anything like it since I've been here 7 years. And that's what it's about right there. That was an incredible environment. Cheer and dance, unbelievable part of it. The Lumberjack Marching Band, the boldest sound from the oldest town. They make use of the Purple Haze was unbelievable, and just that whole environment. But there's so many things that go into winning. That's the atmosphere. It started, getting them up early. Obviously it was a little bit earlier kick. The folks at Chartwell's, they feed our team every morning, and they fed our team every morning during the Jacks week, the bye week. They feed us. We bring the food over to our place. They do a great job, and our pregame meal was obviously earlier, and there's a difference between powdered eggs and real eggs, in my opinion. And nobody likes powdered eggs or, the stuff in the box you pour and you cook. It's like a egg casserole. Ugh, it's disgusting. But if you crack real eggs and cook real eggs, it's awesome. I love real eggs, farm fresh, the brown ones, And that's something that those folks at Chartwell's did, and they got up and they cracked 500 plus eggs for our team, and we're pigging out there pregame meal. I told them, I said, y'all help win. Y'all help us by doing this and doing the little bit of extra, and cracked eggs matter. in my opinion. Some people may think that's silly, but from Chartwell's to the Purple Haze to the students, to the Lumberjack Marching Band, just everybody that was there, everybody had a hand in that catch that Kylan made. Everybody had a hand in that interception that Charles made, win the game. Everybody had a hand in that record-breaking day of Sam Vidlak, and what a historic day. That'll be a game and a day that's remembered forever around here. This team is, rewriting history, and so many people had a hand in that. So thank you, to Lumberjack Nation, to Chartwell's, to Lumberjack Marching Band, to everybody that had a part in that special day. It was epic, it was awesome, it was legendary. So hope we get to do it again someday.
And Coach, one more question for you here. Obviously, as the season goes along, you get to this this time of year. It's kind of that accolade season, so to speak, with players getting awards. But when you look at your coaching staff, you've had several coaches. I mean, Coach Moots with being kind of a coordinator of the year finalist from Football Scoop, and Coach Nelson getting some recognition for the great job he's done special teams. But then also Coach Atkinson, AFCA 2026 35 under 35 class. Talk a little about just that and kind of.
It's unbelievable. That just come out?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh,
You've mentioned it before
yeah.
about you surround yourself with really good people. Just kind of talk a little bit about that.
No, when you win, coaches get way too. I'm not even going to say that right. Coaches get way too much credit when you win. It's a player's game, and it is, and those players make the plays. But we do have a tremendous staff, from all the people I just mentioned, part of that game day environment. But to put those players in that position, we've got an unbelievable staff, and they're so fun to work with. They're great people, and they're great coaches. They're great men. I tell everybody when I hire somebody, I look for three things. One, be a strong Christian moral person. Two, be a great recruiter. Three, be a great coach. But in that order. And those guys all check the boxes of that. And that's why you're seeing some of these accolades, and there should be more. I mean, just because you see the numbers they put up and what this team and program has been able to do. And again, I'm not griping. It's never been harder to win at SFA than it is right now. It's never been harder. And we're winning at a level that has only, it's one of the best teams in the history of the school. And so that there's a lot of hard work going on behind the scenes, and our coordinators, deserve a lot of credit. So do the student coaches. We got 30-something people on our staff, our off-the-field staff. Derek Woolery, our general manager, who's helped build this roster, keep it together. Haley Heismans, she's the best DFO in college football, and they are busy right now because we're trying to get this whole thing done. But all those are spokes inside that championship wheel, and if somebody's not doing their job, DFO, general manager, the guy that runs the scout team, coordinator, head coach, man, that spoke gets broken and that wheel gets wobbly, and you don't have the success we've had. So, just a tremendous staff, very, very blessed. And the best thing about them is I can call them all friend. We've got, I think, tremendous staff chemistry and cohesion. We care about each other. We love each other. Our families do a lot together, and they actually pay us to do this. Get to come up. Who gets to come to work with their best friends every day, win a bunch of football games, change lives while you're at it? Best job in the world. So,
Coach, appreciate you joining us. Best of luck Friday night in Bozeman.
thank you. Excellent.
Senior quarterback Sam Vidlak and senior linebacker Jaydon SOuthard. Gentlemen, we appreciate you joining us. We'll get some questions for you.
Thank you for having us. Yeah. Thank you. First of all, congrats again. So, what does it mean to y'all to make this kind of school history and everything? It's pretty awesome.
I think it means a lot, especially just to that group in the locker room. We all came back for a reason, and everybody had this vision months ago, and we worked for it all off season and all throughout the season. We've been working for this, so to see it kind of come to fruition and be able to keep chasing our dreams together is really special.
Yeah, I think big thing is it goes back to all the way back last spring and summer, how hard we've worked, just one day at a time, continuing to do that to this day, one day at a time. And it means a lot, all the work. It means a lot to a lot of people around us too, and we understand that. We appreciate the support.
What's the key to not just being happy to be here, but wanting to go further, keep going?
For me, I think it's being thankful for the situation we're in and the opportunities we have, but excited for the opportunities. I think there's a difference between being satisfied and being thankful. I'm thankful for this team. I'm thankful for the people we have, the coaches, the support. but I'm not satisfied with where we're at as a program. And the whole season has been, especially for like guys like me and Jaydon that are seniors, is not letting any of this go by and take anything for granted. And I don't think anything changes because we treated the whole season that way. It doesn't change now that it's the playoffs. It's the same message, same mindset, trying to make the most of every day, and that's where I think we're at.
Yeah. I'm very thankful as well. I'm thankful God has allowed us to be in this position, and God has gave us some adversity in the beginning of the season. Losing to ACU in week 2, He all has a plan. He has a plan for everything, and just remembering that those moments, and understanding we got to get better each week with a win or a loss. Very thankful for sure.
And then what are keys to getting a win this week?
I think just focusing on us and executing. I think that the coaches are going to put together a great game plan for us, and believing in the guys to your left and your right, and the guys in that locker room. I think we have a great group, and we believe that any game we play, no matter the opponent, the outcome is dependent on us and how we perform, and we believe things are in our control. So we're really excited about that, and I don't think anything changes. It's still about us. Yeah,
just understanding that it's just another team in our way, and like I said a minute ago, like taking it day by day and like getting better. We understand that, we had a win. That's what matters. That's the stat that matters. We always say that, but like we had mistakes. We had great things. We had mistakes, and we got to get better at the mistakes. We got to make the great things continue to be great.
And people talk a lot about learn more from the losses than you do the wins. Like, what would y'all say you learned from the first 2 losses that helped you get to where you are now?
I don't necessarily. I get the point people make with that, but I feel that I have the same process and that we have the same process whether we win or we lose, and I think we believed in and stuck to that process. Really, even long before the season started, and so we believed in this group the whole way. But I just think you stick to your process. You control the things that are in your control to the best of your ability, and you give it your best shot, and then you let the results be what they may be. But if you're doing everything you can do, the end result is really up to God. But I believe that if we do everything in our control, then we're going to like the results. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I would totally agree with that. I don't really have much to say about that.
Yeah, no, and then just going to, obviously, Friday game, so a little bit of a short week, and on top of that, out in Montana, I know Sam, and obviously is going to Montana State, so you had a little bit of part of that. And I think I was looking at the weather. Kickoff is supposed to be about 42 degrees at kick, so certainly the coldest game that you guys, I think, have played this season. So what's the prep that y'all are doing for, more of a cold weather game?
I think that's just a mentality thing. I honestly was expecting it to be a lot colder than 42 and would be excited about it. I think, if you're playing in the cold weather like that, that means you're playing well into December, and that's something that we wanted, and we're glad to be in the position we're in now. But the cold's not, it's not something the cold's going to affect you if you let it affect you mentally, and our team's not going to let that affect us. We're there to play football and to compete to the best of our ability, but definitely we're really excited about the opportunity to head north and play this game against a great opponent, and it should be a really good one. So we're really excited about that opportunity.
Yeah, I think this is kind of the goal, right? Just play when it starts getting colder. It definitely won't affect the defense. I mean, it was colder last week during practice all week anyways, and I think we're ready for that. I don't see a problem or it won't be a game changer at all, We prepared up to this moment, and like he said, it's a mentality thing. Like, you can't allow the atmosphere to mess with you or change the way you're preparing for something, or let it affect the way you play or process stuff.
Then, and speaking on the atmosphere, obviously this past Saturday, first home playoff game at Homer Bryce since 2010, and I heard you guys talking before. It was rocking at Homer Bryce.
Yeah,
Just talk
sure
about
was.
the environment.
Yeah, I thought the fans did a great job showing up. I thought we had great support. I think that's a special moment for Nacogdoches and for SFA. I think people are going to talk about that game for a long time. I think there were 7 or 8 lead changes. I mean, a shootout. That's an epic playoff battle right there. And in between 2 Texas schools that have some history. So I think that was awesome. We were just talking before. There's no way that the numbers were right for the attendance, because we had a lot more than that. So we were thankful with how our guys showed up and the support we were getting.
Yeah, very blessed with support, and it's only grown this year, and it kind of we've kind of came to the understanding, I think, that, you know, people see the hard work. You know, you always say, like, you got to do the work that people don't see, you know, but it portrays to the field. And I think people have seen it, and more supporters came from it. And we are very appreciative of the fans that come out, and I hope the support only continues to grow.
Yeah, and then on the flip side of things, obviously going up to Montana State, up to Bozeman, and going to expect a pretty big crowd out there. So just on the flip side of it, you know, being in front of a hostile crowd, just, you know, talk about what it's going to take for that part as well.
Yeah, that's going to be an awesome environment to play in. That's what everybody wants when you grow up, is you want to play in front of thousands of people and super loud stadiums. And on top of that, for it to be a playoff atmosphere, it's something we're really excited about. And you won't find a guy in that locker room that's not fired up about that. We know it's a loud place, and they got a lot of rowdy fans, and we're just excited to be able to go up there and play in a playoff game in an atmosphere like that when the stakes couldn't be any higher. It's like what we've been talking about this whole interview. It's just what we worked for, and it's what we wanted, and it's here now, and we're thankful, and we're excited and ready to go after it.
Yeah, man, we're ready to attack it. You know, I think I'm excited. I know everybody's excited, and I mean, I only think, you know, not letting the moment be too big. I don't think anybody will. I think it all traces back to what we've done, how hard we've worked, and wanting to be here and understanding, like, this is the goal, you know, continue to play late. And the atmosphere comes with the big games, you know, and we understand that. And we're a big game team. Like, we're here.
Going in as an underdog, and of course we saw some upsets, but does that add any motivation at all, like to prove doubters wrong, to, you know, like, let's get this win and have another upset?
For me, my mentality is not, I don't have a prove doubters wrong type of mentality. I have more of a prove the people right in that locker room, that the belief that we have in that locker room. I want to prove the coaches that believed in me and that believe in this team right. I want to prove these guys right, that we know what we can be, and we know the caliber of team that we are, and we want to prove the things that we know are to be true. We want to prove that to everybody else. I personally don't hear. I mean, you hear it, but I don't let the outside noise affect us. And it's kind of going back to, like, you have the same process, whether you win or you lose, whatever it may be. You stick to that process, and for me, I care more about the opinions of the people in that building and the teammates that I have, and trying to earn their respect every day. And you know, that's what I think it's about. I don't think it's about going and looking at the sports books and seeing who the underdog is and, oh, what's our over and under line. I don't really care. We have a game to play on Friday, and we love the team we have in that locker room and the coaches we have and the people that form that our entire organization, and we're excited for the opportunity to go out and compete.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that necessarily being the underdog, quote unquote, means a whole lot to us. You know, you got to block that type of stuff out. I mean, if you think you're the underdog every week, then maybe you know, for some people it allows them to play better, or they like that mentality. It fuels them a little bit. I don't think that's the way on our defense. We understand, like, what our standard is, you know, and we understand that we're going to come out and continue to play with the same standard every week, and we're here for a reason, you know. I mean, it's top 8, underdog, whatever. I mean, it is top 8. We're here for a reason.
Sam, Jaydon, thank you guys for joining us. Best of luck on Friday night.
I
Appreciate you guys.
y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.